everybody, and welcome to the LFC transfer room with myself, Louis Fell. For the regulars, if there are any joining just now, this is a bit of a new show, slightly new one. I am coming to you live from Travelodge. Thank you very much to Travelodge. They've got no idea what's going on. Stayed overnight because I'm on the road currently, so this is the first match day where I will be still doing the watch along, but not from the comfort of my own studio. I'm making do, so the lighting isn't great. It's a bit of a mess, but thank you for bearing with us. We've decided this season to try match day countdown. We're trying to see what we can do. Jordan, the stream is frozen, so as long as you can hear me, then I'm good, but yeah, I am using a hotel's Wi-Fi at this point, so it might not be the greatest, unfortunately. Thank you to people who are already joining. As I said, we're looking to start something new here. Match day mornings. We want to have the greatest match day coverage of all of the Liverpool fan channels, which will be difficult to do. It's a tough precedent, but I feel like a match day morning is something slightly new. Match day countdown. And just a way to get that final bit of build-up. If you're like me and on a match day you struggle to focus on anything else but the match, whoop, that's not good, you can come here and we can talk about that for a little bit as well. Phantom of Many Topics says, I'm a Chelsea fan on loan to Fulham. Oh my god, I'm making myself look like a bloody dwarf. Right, I just need to sink lower into my chair, don't I? There we go, that sorts it. Please do like the video whilst you're here, and please do subscribe to the channel if you are new. Let me know how I'm sounding volume-wise. I'm hoping now that I don't have this windshield on, it'll be a little bit louder for you. You don't have to crank it up to the maximum just to make out what I'm saying. Don Van Dijk, hope you're doing well, much appreciated. Phantom of Many Topics says, I hope Fulham can draw the game. Well, let's talk about that. But first of all, as I said, like the video, please subscribe to the channel, and the live watch along will be from 12 o'clock with myself. So I'm going to do this with you for a little bit, have a chat, chat shit mainly for a little bit, and then when it gets to, well, once this is finished, sorry, I'll go and have some lovely Travelodge breakfast, get myself sorted, and then go ahead with it. So I'm definitely lagging a bit, which is fine, and I do need the windshield apparently, so I'll put that on, so maybe that's a little bit better. Maybe I'm just holding it too close to my mouth. I've updated the microphone as well, but enough dilly-dallying, because I'm just talking nonsense now at this point, aren't I? Let's go through some of the comments made by the management of either side before this game. Now, an update on injuries, etc., etc. Alisson Becker should be in goal for today, so Adrian back onto the bench. Queve Kelleher still one of the injured cohort, so he will not be a part of the matchday squad, so you will see Adrian on the bench, I imagine, unless he, really failed to impress and Liam Hughes gets a go, I don't know, but once again he wasn't at his best against Strasbourg, I don't think. The goalkeeper is the only confirmed returnee from the Reds injury list. Naby Keita will be assessed ahead of the 12:30 kickoff, so there's still time, there's still a chance that if Naby Keita wakes up and feels miraculously better, he may well get a start, or at least be a part of the team, which I think is a lot more realistic to make the bench. Apart from that, everybody else is still injured, nothing much changed there. Curtis Jones, of course, out for up to 2 to 4 weeks, so that's caused a bit of unrest amongst some portion of Liverpool fans. Well, I think it's caused unrest amongst everybody, because I think everybody understands that we probably do need another midfielder. The way we go about expressing that, I think, is slightly different from person to person, and that's fine. But Naby Keita, fingers crossed, will be back in the matchday squad. Curtis Jones will not. And Oxlade-Chamberlain, of course, is injured. I think a lot of people are starting to get a little bit concerned about Konate as well. A feeling that it might be months more than weeks for his return, but nothing confirmed on that. Of course, Diogo Jota as well and Kostas Tsimikas will not be on the bench. James Milner could make his 200th appearance though, which is great news. So, as Don Van Dijk says, Konate injury looking serious. Again, apologies. It's not normally like this, the frame rate. All right, if you are new, bear with me. I'm on the road. I'm in a Travelodge. Right, I'm using Travelodge Wi-Fi. you ever stayed at a travel lodge, you should know it's not the greatest. Okay, so normal day, normal setup, it's a flawless experience. Okay, so just bear with me. Use it as a radio rather than a video. The watch along should be fun as well, shouldn't it? Joe Gomez was a big topic in Jurgen Klopp's press conference. Penned a new deal in July, of course, extending his stay after joining in 2015. Klopp said for Joe, it's most important that he stays fit, and that's what we try to help him with all we can, because that was the stop-and-go situations. Not that he was fit from the first day and I didn't pick him for quality reasons, that was never the case. The main part of this press conference, talking about Joe Gomez, was that Klopp wanted to get across that he is very, very important. He will be playing a lot of games, which is not great if you are Bojack on this channel. If you're new, you won't know because he doesn't often appear. He only tends to appear maybe 10 minutes into a watch-along when he knows that Joe Gomez is or isn't in the team, and he'll either be very happy or very upset, depending on whether Joe Gomez is playing, because he has an unnatural hatred for Joe Gomez, thinks he's the worst thing since sliced bread. Sliced bread's very good, isn't it? What's the worst thing? The worst thing since whatever you can think of for that one. I don't have very good analogies. He is a big part of Jurgen Klopp's plans, and he will have a big season this year, I'm convinced. I mean, with Konate out, Van Dijk will obviously be the starter, as always. But Matty will not be able to play every single game. That's just a fact, unfortunately. So Joe Gomez will be drafted in at centre-back, his preferred position, over right-back. So we will see plenty of him there. Fans with many topics says Mitrovic scored 43 goals last year in English Championship. Fulham FC are the champions of the English Championship. You'll never sing that. No, I'll give you that one. I'll give you that one, Phantom. We will never, ever sing champions of the English Championship. I grant you that. Congratulations. It'll be interesting to see how Mitrovic does this year. I'm not expecting much from him. I mean, 43 goals is incredible. So if he can drag even half of that to the Premier League, then Fulham are safe, aren't they? If your striker can grab you 20 Premier League goals in a season, then you're gonna do fine, aren't you? I think a lot of people have tipped Fulham to go down, haven't they? And I think we've spoken about that on pretty much everything. The preview, the the Premier League predictions, the award predictions. No one's got real hopes for Fulham because they have been a bit of a yo-yo team. Not even Marco Silva sounds like he's got many high hopes. He said, "We as a squad, we're not ready. These players, they are. I have to tell you, I don't want to speak for too long about this situation. I want to be clear with you. We have 16 senior players in our squad. No one competes at this level with 16 players." Prajip says Nat Phillips might be important, and this year if Konate injury is serious. And Anthony says, and we took Fulham's best player, yeah, of course, Fabio Carvalho. Have you ever been to Craven Cottage? Yes, I have. I went there for was it West Ham versus Fulham? I think it was West Ham versus Fulham, but it was when Berbatov was there, so a fair old while ago. But no, it's a very nice stadium. Again, apologies for the dropped frame rate. I'm getting loads of notifications from my stream software telling me that, which is really distracting actually. I wonder if it'd be better to hotspot off my phone. My phone seems like it has 5G. I don't know. I might see what happens, but just bear with me. You should be able to hear me fine. It's just the image will be a bit broken. So think of it as more of a radio broadcast rather than something that you need to watch to understand exactly what's happening. But as Marco Silva said, 16 first team players at the moment. It's sounding a bit like Hull City from a few years back, isn't it? They are not prepared, and I don't understand. I don't understand why. What? You're a yo-yo club. You clearly want to stay in the Premier League, don't you? Or maybe they really don't. Maybe this is self-sabotage. I don't know. You get millions of pounds for getting promoted, and then you get millions of pounds in parachute payments. Keep doing that for 5 years, and you're set, aren't you? So I don't know. Maybe this is their way of ensuring Marco Silva can't work any miracles. Get him a few bad results, sack him by October, and bring in Sam Allardyce to see you go back down again. Because let's face it, he's finished, isn't he? His ideas are old. You can nick a result or two against the big dogs, and people call it a masterclass. But generally speaking, you're done. You're done, aren't you? It's archaic, slightly archaic football that you're trying to play here, boss man. Phantom went in January to Craven Cottage, new stand on the riverside. Yeah, well, I went to uni at Roehampton, and our football pitch, well, the one that we used to train on, was just across the river. You could see it. It looked bloody brilliant, the building for the new stand. Seems like Nat Phillips will be staying after this Canate injury, yes. Which, again, has upset a lot of people, I think. Although the defence was never something that we thought we'd have to strengthen this year. And that's why you have people like Nat Phillips about, isn't it? Because if you get an injury or two, you need someone down the pecking order who can come in and still do a fairly decent job, knows your system, etc. I feel bad for him though. I do feel bad for Nat Phillips because where's he going? Where's he going in this career? He's not staying. He's not going to stay long term. I think that rumour, as much as I'd love that rumour to be true, that we genuinely think he could be a Joel Matip replacement, it's not happening, is it? He's not a Joel Matip replacement. My heart tells me he absolutely is. My heart tells me he's better than Van Dijk. My head tells me he is our fifth choice centre back, and he's very unlikely to move up that pecking order in any genuine way, besides injuries, suspensions, etc. So I don't know. Prajiv said, we did give Fulham the only provider for Mitrovic last year, and he's injured for today's game. Yeah, Harry Wilson is not available. I've got some. Do I have some of their team news? I don't think I do, actually. But yeah, Harry Wilson, one of the injured players for Fulham, will not be a part of today's squad, which is, as you say, Prajiv, good news, not a provider. And Carvalho is no longer at the club as well. He's with us. Let's talk Liverpool team news a little bit. We can come back to Fulham if we really, really want to, but this is the LFC transfer room. Who do I expect to start? I expect it to be a fairly bog-standard lineup, nothing magical or enchanting in terms of new signings, younger players. I expect it to be Diaz, Firmino, Salah. I expect it to be Fabinho, Thiago, Henderson. I expect it to be Matip, Van Dijk, Trent and Robertson and Alisson in goal. Then on the bench you will have Canate, Adrian, Carvalho, Elliott, Gomez, Milner. Oh, I forgot who I've done now. A few, but to be honest, I think we're struggling for a full bench of first teamers because of those injuries. But we've got 5 subs that I'd bring on at some point, I think. So yeah, straightforward lineups as Anthony. No need to overcomplicate it. But if we manage to, not say wrap up for the game early, but get the game on the back boiler. Start to think about next week because we're 3 goals up or whatever. Then maybe I'd like to see Carvalho and Elliott introduced in some capacity. I think a lot of people are still unsure about what Carvalho's role will be. Is he going to be a backup to Diaz all season? I think he's going to be a very versatile player. I think we'll see him at left wing. I think in cup competitions we could see him as the number 9. And I think he'll play as the right-sided 8 on occasions as well. I think he's got that in his locker. I think some people have said to me, if he's playing in midfield, he's only going to play a number 10 role, which we don't, and then they say which we don't have. But we do. The right-sided number 8 is in effect a number 10 when we're in attack. That's what we need to start understanding slightly. Yes, they drift wider. They stick out on the right with Salah and Trent as it stands, and they play that lovely triangle to create space and overloads, etc. All those football buzzwords. You can't use Carvalho, pretend it's a loan deal. Oh, well, no mercy, But he won't start though, and he may well not come on. Bacetić might be in the bench. He might be, but I think we need to temper our expectations with him, unless there are more injuries. But I genuinely think Bacetić will not feature much for us this season, even less than Tyler Morton did, if I'm being honest with you. I think cup competition, like the early stages of the Carabao Cup, will be his best mate. The first round of the FA Cup will be his best mate. Apart from that, I think he's going to have fairly limited first team minutes, because it's quite sudden, and we get excited every year about a player who stands out in pre-season, but 9 times out of 10 they normally end up fading into the background again pretty quickly, which is fine, because how old is he? He's bloody young, so not really worth being concerned about. Question: are we overrating Elliot as a fan base? We've only seen him 5 to 6 times realistically. I think it depends who you are, actually. I imagine people who are super duper into, we have to buy a new midfielder, like, this is a disgrace, Klopp in the mud, FSG out. Like, the people who are going really over the top with it, I think they're probably underrating Harvey Elliott a little bit. I think genuinely in that first few weeks of the season, he cemented himself into Liverpool starting 11, which is not easy to do. He's now a year older. He's got that, well, I would say experience, but he's had that setback, which is, I think will drive him on. My only concern with him is just his physicality. As long as he can avoid getting into tussles, because if he doesn't, he's just going to get tossed about. I noticed it a few times. In the Community Shield, like up against Rodri. There was never a competition there, was there? He was always getting battered about a little bit. So if as long as he avoids that, or is able to beef up a little bit at some point, but he's still got a few years to do that, I think he probably could. He probably could become a massive part of the team again and blend in quite nicely. So I think it just depends on what your allegiance is, what flag you hoist necessarily. But yeah, I get your point. Maybe some people do overrate him slightly, but he's got a very high ceiling. I don't think that's up for debate necessarily. In America, we will see the game on Peacock Stream, and we'll be watching it via BT Sport. But if you're unable to access that, you can come here and I'll give you commentary for free. So please do like, please subscribe, and please share it around. If you've got any Liverpool fans who won't be able to watch it, or will watch it but don't like BT Sport commentators, share the watch along video with them. It's already ready to go on the channel, but share that with them, or just wait till it starts at 12 o'clock. Share that with them, and yeah, we can all have a chill time watching the club we support. Although it might be a little bit more difficult because the frame rates are dreadful. Is there anything major that I've missed out on? Oh, so it's Nathaniel Chalobah and Harry Wilson are the two big absentees. That's it. I knew I had it somewhere. Anthony, the Vegas odds is -377 for Liverpool to win. Bloody hell. So coming in from Vegas, huh? You live in the high life, huh, Phantom? Bloody hell. Do you think Klopp will use all 5 subs? Ooh, probably. I think Klopp will. I think Klopp will utilise it many times this season. There'll be times when he might only use 1 or 2. But generally speaking, I think he's going to use a lot. He's going to use a fair amount. Partially because our squad is a little bit thin at the moment because of injuries. So you can't afford to let anybody overplay. If the game's comfortable, especially, then the 5 subs are definitely getting made. I'm telling you. If it's 3-0 in the 60th minute or above, I think those 5 subs do come on. I live 5 hours drive from Vegas. Well, where the hell's that then? Are you still in Nevada? I don't really know how the states work, like how big they are drive-wise and stuff. It's quite hard to comprehend for someone in little old England, where got a 5-hour drive takes you like up the other end of the country almost. But yeah, please do like the video. It massively helps. Please subscribe to the channel as well. I'm excited. I'm very, very excited to get back into the Premier League season. I watched the Arsenal Crystal Palace game. I think Arsenal were very, very lucky to get away from there with 3 with 3 points, and they'll feel like it's a job well done. And they are top of the league. They are top of the league, and we get to go next. So we need to score more than 2 goals to snatch top spot from them in the first weekend of the Premier League. It should be exciting. We'll keep this one short because I know the frame rate is atrocious and it probably looks like arse. I hope we can continue to do this matchday countdown show from now on this season, whether it's me or someone else. And I'll be at home more often than not, so you won't have to experience this dreadful signal any longer. Please do subscribe to the channel. Please like the video and get yourselves ready for the watch along, which starts from 12 PM with myself. We'll go full match build up, and it will be Fulham versus Liverpool kicking off at 12.